Hey guys, we're back. It's really bright. Should I change that? I think we're okay. We'll live. Today is going to be the last video for us to go over this right here, the short and long-term causes of the Second World War. That'll round out our revision series on the causes of two wars in the 20th century. I think I'm going to be moving on to the Cold War next, and I've got some good ideas for that content. So, should be good. Let's get right into it. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, we're good. Short term causes, I did one just for Germany. These are the 10 steps to World War II that we did last year, right? We've got German rearmament, right? We've got, and I kind of gave it to you broken down, military, economic, and political implications to that, right? We've got the Anglo German Naval Agreement. We've got the Equality of Treatment Clause that was denied by the League of Nations. We've got the rearmament of Germany due to jobs and all of that stuff kind of integrated into there. We've got the Saar plebiscite that gives Germany back to Saarland, right? Super industrialized territory is now going to be given back to Germany, and they chose to do it. That was part of the mandate system of the League of Nations. We got the Rhineland, right? Hitler's biggest risk, remilitarizing the Rhine in 36, and he gets away with it, right? No French troops confront him, so he keeps on marching. The Spanish Civil War, this is a big one, right? This has major military implications, right? The Germans are going to send the Condor Legion over to Spain. Hitler cares about his fascist ally in Francisco Franco, but this is more about him testing out those new toys that he's been working on. And the German Stukas and Junkers are going to be those bombers that go into Guernica and completely destroy the city. All right, we're back. Someone was out the door. Spanish Civil War, right? So those German planes are going to level the city, right? Three major things come out of the Spanish Civil War. We see that the German military is way, 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 way better than we thought. That idea of Guernica is going to scare a lot of the European population and make them realize that this next war is going to be terrible, right? This next war is something to fear, right? It's not going to be a war in the farmlands of France anymore. It's going to be a war in cities with major collateral damage, right? Then we go to the Anschluss with Austria, right? That political union. The Treaty of Versailles is essentially a piece of paper at this point. No one is going to enforce it anymore. The Munich crisis and the Munich agreement, the Munich conference, all of that stuff that goes along with the Sudetenland, and Neville Chamberlain waving that piece of paper, peace in our time, and it was all pretty much rubbish because Hitler is going to break the Munich agreement within 8 months of signing it. But the real kind of ramifications of the Munich agreement is going to be the Nazi-Soviet pact and Stalin realizing that he was in bed with the wrong party the whole time, and that Britain and France were not going to protect him when Hitler kept coming east. And then ultimately we've got the invasion of Poland. Hold on a second. That's way too bright. All right, that's better. That's a lot better. All right, so short-term causes. The other, right, with Italy, we've got Abyssinia, right? The idea of Italy restoring the Holy Roman Empire and bringing about the expansionist policies of Italy. And then the most immediate cause for the Italians is the invasion of Albania and how they're going to use that as a jumping-off point into the rest of the Balkans and then later on Greece. With Japan, we've got the Manchurian crisis. All right, we've got that the first of those expansionist policies between the Axis powers, and then the most immediate cause for them is the Marco Polo Bridge incident, which led to the declaration of the Second Sino-Japanese War by the Chinese, which is essentially the start of the Second World War. All right. Long-term causes. Now, this was way, 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 way too much for me to write. So I just kind of gave a couple bullet points here, and I'm just going to speak on it. So when we go back to kind of political long-term causes of the Second World War, there's a lot to unpack there, right? We can't talk about the Second World War without talking about the Treaty of Versailles, right? Back in class when we learned about the effects of World War I told you that this could be titled the long-term causes of World War II, right? Because the Treaty of Versailles and how unjust that treaty was towards the Germans and really how bad the Paris Peace Conference went in general is definitely going to set the tone for all of those the World War II causes to kind of take center stage. Um, Economic, right? Going back to that Treaty of Versailles, reparations, I think is definitely going to be something that you're going to want to mention there in terms of long term causes and how those economic things are going to feed into the crises in Germany that allow Hitler to rise to power, right? And then you've got the Great Depression, right? In my opinion, the single most influential thing to happen in 20th century history is the stock market crash. I don't think the Nazis come to power after it. I don't think Japan invades Manchuria. I don't think Italy invades Abyssinia. I don't know if Mussolini holds on to power very long if the Great Depression doesn't happen. So that's there. That needs to be mentioned. Social, right? We've got the polarization of people, right? We've got that stock market crash is going to cause so much crisis around the world that people are going to react. People are going to fall out of favor with their governments, and they're going to go to either side of the political spectrum. In the cases we studied, they're going to go far right in terms of fascist Italy, fascist Spain, fascist Germany, and then kind of imperial Japan. It's not fascist, right? But it's far right wing. Military, right? We've got the rearmament of Germany as this kind of long end, short term cause, right? And then territorial. Territorial, I think, is more safe to call the short term stuff. I don't think that territorial causes are a major long term cause. But going back to that treaty, right? Or the Paris Peace Conference in general, you've got new countries that are created with bad ethnic blends, right? The Woodrow Wilson's 14 points did not get listened to, and now you're creating states with bad ethnic borders, bad ethnic boundaries, and that racial, that 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 ethnic tension is going to cause a lot of the things that are boiling over as we talk about the cause of World War II, right? So I kind of gave that a rougher overview, I know, but I feel like that's something this is something that if you've been paying attention in the course is not necessarily the hardest thing to piece together. And also, I think a question that's not going to come up, right? I think it's going to be more of those short term causes, and some of those buzzwords are going to be what creates your questions. So, hopefully, that helps. If you need me to go more in depth about the long term causes of World War II, let me know. I can do another episode on it. Just drop a comment. And as always, hope this helped. I'm going to come back with the Cold War, and I think that should be really good.